Alright, so we're gonna be doing a story time, alright? About the day I overdosed and how I got there. That is me. I am laying on my deathbed. My dad's recording. I took this part of the video out with my family sitting on the side. It's very hard to watch. But that's me. All the tubes inside me. So I guess I don't even know where to start. I'll start from, I guess, when addiction kind of started happening. I wasn't really hanging around the right people. I don't blame nobody. I did that to myself. Nobody forced me to do anything. But I would say it started out with painkillers and Xanax. A lot of Xanax, actually. And through some people that I met somebody who could help support my habits, and I was able to make money off of this also. So I was really just making money to support my addiction and to pay for food and share what I did eat. So really this is crazy. It's different when you're doing this on camera. I've said this story many times, but I guess I've never done it like this. But yeah, so I started getting addicted to like Percocets, Vicodin, and really painkillers and Xanax. And I would probably take Xanax every day. Painkillers were a little bit hard to find because at least the people that I was with, rolling around with, they wanted them too. So, and then the people we knew wanted them too. So usually when you found them, you didn't get rid of them. And Xanax was easier to find. At the time, I just had people who just got them, so they would sell it to me for the low because I was close with them, and I would hook them up with I guess connections to Percocets and stuff like that whenever they needed it. So I ended up getting addicted, not knowing, lying to myself. I remember there'd be days because I wasn't living with my family then, and there would be days where probably like at least once a month where I would get super depressed, and like I just think like, yo, my dad did not raise me like this. I know this isn't what he wanted from me, and I would just get super sad. I'd just be like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? I'm wasting my life. I'm wasting my time. But if you guys have been through something like this, you already know. Pop some Xans, pain goes away for a little bit, and then it just come back the next month, and it just get worse and worse and worse and worse. And I don't claim to be no El Chapo, bro. I was just making enough money to survive, you know what I mean? And also I was rapping at the time too, so I thought I was a big trapper, you know. But now I see things a lot different, and I could have almost lost my life, bro. Or worse, I would have been in jail. So I guess we'll go to the day of the overdose. I remember waking up. I put 2 bars in a Fanta, had my little Xanta drink in the morning for breakfast. We went and got 2 bottles of Evan Williams honey, and like 2 handles. And I don't really drink that often. Even when I was doing all that stuff, I wasn't much of a drinker. But when I took Xans, I drank a lot. And, or not a lot, but I would drink more often. And so that night I ended up drinking and drove home. And when I got there, I remember snorting like 6 Perk 30s, which were really fentanyl. And I think I got to the 5th and the 6th one or something. I just passed out, bro. And I remember waking up in the ambulance. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And I pass out again. And then I wake up one more time, and I have doctors all around me. It was the craziest shit. And I had like I guess oxygen in my mouth, and I kept taking it off. I was like, I can't breathe, and I kept taking it off, and the doctor was like, yo, if you don't put that back on your face, you are going to die. And I just got mad, bro, and I just left that shit off. I was so mad about that. But But yeah, so I ended up waking up again, and I see my family there, and I had this big tube in my mouth, and they just pulled that shit out, bro. That shit had to be like that long, and like this thick, no homo. But yeah, and then I remember I asked my dad about that. He said he heard me like just shaking on the bed when they took that out and just yelling, and then I passed back out and I woke up. My family was there, and two of my closest friends, and like I loved them for that, bro. Like I hadn't seen them in forever, didn't really message them, ask how they were doing. I was getting fucked up all the time, but they were still there when I woke up. So I love you guys, and I love my family that was there too. So, when all this happened, I wasn't in also the best relationship either. After that had happened, I didn't really try to clean my life up. I went back to doing the same old shit for probably like 2 weeks, and one night I had taken some acid, and I looked on my Snapchat and looked at my old stuff, and I saw when I had dyed my hair blonde, and it was kind of like the start of everything. And I just saw when I started scrolling back up and I saw pictures of me in the hospital, it was like a time bomb that just, like a ticking time that just went off in my head. I was like, what the fuck? I looked in the mirror, and I just remember hitting myself. I was so mad, and I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, you're wasting your life. Like, you're a piece of shit. You're a loser. Like, you might as well have died. There's no point, dude. You're hurting everybody around you. And that fucked me up, bro. But that's when I knew. I was like, yo, I got to clean my life up. I have to. And so I ended up getting some perk 5. So I was going through a little bit of withdrawals. I had restless legs, and I couldn't sleep, bro. I remember going to go watch Wonder Woman, and I couldn't even sit down and watch the movie, bro. I needed it. I needed fucking painkillers. So I snorted a little bit of a perk 5 to make that feeling go away a little bit. And I would do that at night, and then eventually nobody would tell me that because they thought that I was snitching or something like that, or they thought I would, or maybe I was fucking the feds or some shit, just because of the hospital shit, which is 100% understandable. I understand a little bit of what that life's about. So anyways, the person I was with at the time, they had a bunch of Adderall, so I would stay up for like 2 or 3 days just so my body just be so tired, just have to crash. And I would smoke a lot too, but that wasn't really helping either. And I remember, like, at that time I was really doing that alone. Like, I mean, I had my friends and my dad to call, and they would, help me out and give me some motivation when I was sad. But like, the person that I was with, like, just kept going out, kept getting fucked up still. And I remember telling them one day, I was like, I'm gonna keep doing me, and I'm gonna keep getting better, and I'm willing to leave you behind if that happens, and so be it. I'm gonna stick on this path. And I remember listening to that. It was this motivational speech. I wish I could find it again, but I was in the car driving to the store, and I was crying, bro, at this speech, and like the guy was saying, like, I can, I will, I must. He said, I can do this, I will do this, I must do this. And I remember the guy's like talking to a crowd, and he's telling the crowd, say it louder, say it louder. And they start yelling, and I start yelling it out in the car, bro, and I swear I had tears in my eyes, bro. I was crying so hard. I'm just like, I can overcome drugs, I will overcome drugs, I must overcome drugs. And at that moment, I knew, I was like, yo, this shit's toxic, bro. And some of you guys out there, I know you're probably didn't have dealt or dealing with that, bro. Sometimes you gotta cut those toxic relationships, whether it's a girlfriend, family, whoever, bro, because you gotta focus on yourself, or else how can you help anybody else? That's the way that I looked at it. That's the way that I was raised too. So anyways, I remember that had happened. And so anyways, like, we started parting ways, bro. Like, I wasn't trying to go out, bro. I like, for a couple months, I just stayed at home. I didn't talk to nobody, bro, because I didn't trust myself. And like one night I fell asleep with nothing, bro. No weed, no nothing, and I stay sober. And that was the best part of my life. And for some reason in my head I thought, okay, once I'm sober, that's life. Everything's gonna be good. But there's more shit that came after that, bro. It's dealing with, like, I guess if you want to call it trauma, the trauma of that shit. In December, like towards the end of December, no, that's a lie. In January, my friend Jalen, I love you, bro, was like, yo, MMA Institute Harrisonburg is having a free month promotion. We should try that shit out. Because me and him always talk UFC. We watch UFC fights, go to B-dubs and shit. And so we went. That's when I had met, I think my first day was with Coach Lee, or Coach Jeremy. And we did jiu-jitsu. And I kept coming every day since, bro. I was like 230 pounds, but I loved that shit. I've always loved wrestling with my friends. It was just, I don't know, bro. Like, that just gave me purpose in life. For anybody who has dealt with drug-related things, you know, snorting that pill or whatever the fuck it is. For me, I'm gonna just use pills because that's what I was into. Snorting that pill right before I went to bed, snorting the pill before I went to go watch a movie, snorting the pill as soon as I woke up. That's what I look forward to, bro. And this was the first thing that I found in my life that gave me that same excitement, that same, like, finally, like it just felt so good, bro, because my life felt so empty. Like, I didn't realize how much I looked forward to drugs. And partying and shit like that, and when I found MMA, bro, that shit saved me. It just gave me a purpose, gave me something to do. And like I said, I went every day, and this was like probably like January 6th. And I just fell in love. I fell in love with the gym. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the culture. They took care of me. And I know, and after talking to them, like, probably like a year later, they told me, they're like, yo, we didn't think you was going to stay this long. They thought that my friend was going to stay longer than me. But no, I ended up being the one that stayed, and I lost like 40 pounds being there. You know, started getting in shape, and then eventually that led up to my first fight. And then led to coaching, led to being a general manager, and led to reffing on Street Beefs, you know, making content for you guys, trying to think of anything else that I can add. You know, this story gets a lot deeper, bro, as you guys know, who have dealt with things or are dealing with this. There's a lot of stuff that you're just not proud of, that you just don't want to say, but I'd like to be able to hear from you guys if you guys are dealing with anything and how I dealt with things like that, if there's any way I can help you. You know, I know my story isn't the craziest one out there, bro. I've talked to some old heads before, and they told me that I'm lucky that I figured this out at a young age, at 20 and 19. Yeah, at 19 instead of being 30, 40. You know, because that's a lot of time wasted in that stuff. But if anybody out there, bro, and I genuinely mean this, like, comment me or DM me on Instagram. I'll give you my personal number, bro. Or if you don't want me to have your number, then that's straight. Like, we can DM. But I'm always here. My phone is always open to you guys, bro. Like, especially if you're dealing with shit, really anything. But with that, like, I can feel for that too. And that shit's hard, bro, doing it alone, because I had to do that shit alone. I didn't have nobody besides, obviously, people I could call and talk to. But this shit, you have to deal on your own. I didn't have no sobriety group. The person that was supposed to be there for me wasn't there for me. But I learned a very valuable lesson, and I'm glad that it happened the way it did. And if I could start that over, I would do the same thing. Just because if it wasn't for getting addicted and doing all that shit, I wouldn't be where I am now. I'm not no big time millionaire, bro. I'm not no big shit. But I love my life. I'm happy where it's at. I'm doing something that I love. You know, I'm not rolling around in the bread, but I would rather do something that I love and make enough money to survive off of it. That's better than anything that I could ever ask for. So, like I said, just hit me up if you're dealing with shit like this, and I will really appreciate, especially on this one, bro, more than any of the other videos on this one. I would love if you guys shared this, and just so there's other people out there that know they're not the only ones, that that I'm here too, and I'm open about it, and that there's people that do care about you. Um, so yeah, please share this to somebody if you know that they're dealing with this or have dealt with this and they're trying to learn how to figure out the steps afterwards. I'm sure that it will help them. If not, hopefully it's something else, because for me it's acid. I'm not saying acid is what's gonna make your life better or change your life, but it could be just meeting a random person. It could be going to church, coming to Muslim, get into Buddhism. It doesn't matter. Religion, it could be whatever. As long as you change for the better, that's all that matters. So yeah, this is a long one, but please share this. I appreciate it. Much love to you guys. Stay blessed.